So hello there. So this will be our third tutorial, and in this tutorial we'll go over some of the basics of C#'s syntax. So C# syntax is inspired by C and C++ syntax. So in this tutorial I'll describe to you C#'s elements of syntax using this simple program. So let's go ahead and create another one, just so we get used to doing this. Program. This will be a console application. We'll call this C# part 3. Save our old one, sure. We'll remove this stuff we don't really need. And I like to put my comments at the very top.
Can you give me some Fritos? Daddy?
Oh, yeah, hold on a second, I'm not doing that. So let's do this simple program here. We'll create a variable, we'll call this X. We'll give it a meaningful name, we'll call it result. Equals, and then we'll do 16 times 34. And then we'll go ahead and print that result to the console. We'll pass in result. As you can see, we get 554. So identifiers are names that programmers choose for their classes, methods, variables, and so on. So the identifiers in our program are in the order that they appear. So I'll tell you, here they are. So identifier number 1 would be system. Identifier number 2 would be program. Identifier number 3 would be main. Identifier number 4 would be result. Identifier number 5 would be write line. And identifier number 6 would be read line. An identifier must be a whole word, essentially made up of Unicode characters starting with a letter or underscore. C# identifiers are case sensitive. By convention, parameters, local variables, and private fields should be in camel case. Example of a camel case would be my variable, where it starts with a lower. The first word has first letter lowercase, and the second word has an uppercase as the first letter. That is what camel case is. Pretty simple. And other identifiers should be in Pascal case. So Pascal case would be uppercase, uppercase. So the first letter of every word is uppercase. M, V. Pretty simple, right? Keywords are names that mean something special to the compiler. So the keywords in our application is using, that's the first keyword. The second one would be namespace. The third would be class. The fourth would be static. The fifth would be void. With the sixth being int. Those are keywords. So keyword, 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 keyword. Something you should probably notice is that they're all blue. The identifiers were system, C# part 3, program, main, result, write line, read line. Most keywords are reserved, which means that you can't use them as identifiers. So for the overly fastidious individuals, I went ahead and Googled them, and I'll copy and paste them in here. So this is a multi-line comment. Instead of doing this every single time, I can just do a // */ So I'll copy and paste them all into there. And those are all of your reserved keywords. Another cool trick for comments while I'm on the subject is, if I want to do that, see, I put in all those keywords. And it's not in a comment, it's just sitting there. So you can highlight it all, and you can do Control-K, Control-C. Pretty cool, right? Easy and quick way to comment code very quickly. So a good way to avoid conflicts, if you really want to use an identifier, which I suggest you don't because it's dumb, but if you really want to use an identifier that clashes with a reserved keyword, you can do so by qualifying it with an @ prefix. For example, let's say I want to create another class. It would tell me, hey, you already have a program, or excuse me, a class named program. So we can't do that because there's two. There's ambiguity. They wouldn't know which one you're referring to. So in order to mollify that, is you just add an @ symbol, like I said. Now when I try to build Control-Shift-B, that's not working. I think what I was going for here was not the name of the same program, because that's not right. What I meant to say is I wanted to call it a reserved word. Program's obviously not a reserved word. I was just making a dumb comment. If I want to do class, that wouldn't work because it's a reserved word. It's a keyword. But if I wanted to do this, then I could use that class. See? The @ prefix can be useful when consuming libraries written in other .NET languages that have different keywords. So another part of syntax is contextual keywords. Some keywords are contextual, meaning that they can also be used as identifiers without an @ symbol. So you can go ahead and look that up. I can tell what they are really quickly. I'm not going to type them all out, but they are add, ascending, async, await, by, descending, dynamic, equals, from, get, global, group, in, into, join, let, name of, on, order by, partial, remove, select, set, value, var, when, where, yield. With contextual keywords, ambiguity can arise within the context in which they are used. So another part of syntax is literals, punctuators, and operators. And literals are just primitive pieces of data lexically embedded into the program. The literals we used in our example program are 16, and 34. Punctuators help demarcate the structure of the program. These are the punctuators we use in our program. Curly brace, parenthesis, and semicolon as well. I actually misspoke, I do apologize. So just the curly brace and the semicolon in our program, not the parenthesis. But these curly braces, they group multiple statements into a statement block. The semicolon terminates a statement. Statement blocks, however, do not require a semicolon. Statements can wrap multiple lines, so let me show you that. So if I wanted to do something like console.writeLine, and I want to do 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9, then that would be just fine. You wouldn't usually do that, but you certainly can. An operator transforms and combines expressions. Most operators in C# are denoted with a symbol, such as a multiplication operator or a addition operator. Multiplication operator. I'll go ahead and discuss operators in more detail later in a different tutorial, but the operators that we use in our program were the parenthesis, the plus, sis, and the multiplication symbol, and the equal. Those are the operators. A period denotes a member of something or a decimal point with numeric literals. Parentheses are used when declaring or calling a method. So we called that method that way. Empty parentheses are used when the method accepts no arguments. So the read line accepts no arguments currently. An equal sign performs an assignment. So we're performing an assignment here. We're saying that this result, or this rather, was going to equal this result. This will hold the answer to this. It's like a bucket. So it holds this result. There's a few type of comments. There's 3 actually. So this is an example of a multi-line comment, and this would be an example of a single line comment. So as soon as I press enter, it's no longer in that comment. And the third one is something called XML comments. Just an extra /. So a single line comment, it begins with a double / and continues until the end of the line. A multi-line comment begins with a / asterisk and ends with an asterisk /. Comments may embed XML documentation tags, as I just said. I'll explain that to you more in XML documentation in a later tutorial. So that's really a quick and easy overview on syntax. I don't want to delve into it too deep to confuse you, but that should help you when you have any questions on what anything is. Thank you very much.